Howdy! Are you still looking for gifts to give to your besties and worsties for the holidays? Well, look no further than our merch store. We just updated it with better quality and lower prices for all the designs and accessories, and they all ship internationally. Head on down to pleasestopshopping.com and check out the new store and buy a mug for everyone on your list, naughty or nice. 3, 2, 1.
And Shane, you do an extra one because you're a guest.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
So you do listen to the podcast?
Yeah.
Ed's like his sister. He doesn't listen to any podcast that he's not on.
Oh no, I listen to them. You're thinking of Cameron. Cameron's the one that's self-admitted to being like, oh, I only listen to the episodes I'm on.
No, that's me. I only listen to the episodes I'm
I
on.
heard that Cameron, he only listens to the episodes he's on and he jerks off.
Yeah, he does.
While
he
doing
told
that,
me
that's
that in
messed up.
confidence.
Welcome to the podcast.
He only listens to hear it if he's been mentioned.
Why? He should not have that much confidence when he talks about that shit, though. That's fucked up. That's gross. I don't want to hear it, Cameron.
Makes big
Keep your
comes.
cum to yourself, you fucking animal.
You could hear them go splish splash while we're recording.
Is that the sound of jacking off? The big cums make a splish splash.
How
No, it's
fucking
when it's
wet?
big
How fucking
puddles.
wet is your cum?
How fucking watery is your cum? You need to eat better fruits. Eat more fucking mango.
I don't eat any
eat
fruits.
more mango.
My
Make
bones
your
are sand.
cum thick like milk, like
And that's why you
eggnog.
eat mango, because it makes mango. Welcome to Please Stop Talking, where
Wait,
we
does
won't.
fruit make your cum thicker?
Probably. I don't fucking know. That's what I think.
I think it makes it
That's
sweeter.
what I'd imagine. It definitely does make it sweeter, but I imagine it makes it thick like eggnog. Like
Ooh,
fucking, you know,
I think
like
it'd be
carton
thicker.
eggnog.
It'd be like heavy cream. You know what I'm talking
Ooh,
about? Making
that's
some
fucked
heavy
up.
creams.
You can make some Alfredo
What?
with that. Welcome to the
Nah.
podcast.
I
We have
did
a
that bit,
special.
David. I did that bit twice.
You can say as many times as you want. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome
It
to the
doesn't
podcast.
matter.
Better
Well,
than
That's
the
how you
Splash
summon the
Splash
clapping demons.
Can you also
There's all
add,
the
like,
extra
really-
claps.
Thank you. I'll add them to the claps.
Yeah, can you add sounds of feet stomping on puddles? That's me visiting Cameron's room.
You're fucking
You gotta put
nasty,
your
dude.
you gotta
Fuck,
put your
man.
galoshes on.
Yeah, I got
You got your wading boots
Wait,
on.
what are they called again? The pussy boots? No, yes.
Waiters.
No,
The
remember,
pussy
it was like,
boots?
oh, put your wellies on because you're
Pussy.
drowning
What are you
in
talking about?
puss. That's what we used to say in college.
Your wellies.
Put your fleshlight on your feet.
What?
Walk around with
What?
it.
Yeah.
What are you
He called them
talking
pussy-
about?
It's a part
he called
eight
them pussy
design.
boots.
We have a guest today for the podcast. Would the
Wearing-
guest like to introduce
wearing
themselves before we go the whole
flashlights.
podcast? Talking about big cums.
Hi, I'm Shane with a Y, but you might know me as Foxcade. I'm some cracker in Canada who makes YouTube videos.
Whoa! Hey, time out.
Whoa!
We got a timeout. We gotta hit a timeout. We're gonna get
This
banned.
isn't going on
Hey,
Twitch. This is
Shane.
it's fine.
I don't know if you know this.
I can call
This is an
myself a
audio
cracker.
only podcast. People don't know what you look like. So before we continue, we have to verify that you're actually white.
Everybody point at
What's your-
Shane and say Caucasian.
No, we don't know yet. We don't
know yet.
Wait.
No.
we don't know.
The test is, Shane, what is your favorite Muse album?
I'm actually gonna out myself as a fake white person.
You're going
I'm
to
not a
jail.
news listener.
It's okay. I'll ask the second question. Shane, is Ryan Reynolds hot?
oh, of course.
Yeah,
How
there
many
we go. He's
times
white.
have you seen The Red Notice?
You fucking Trisket head ass.
Every 10 views on Netflix are mine.
Oh, dude,
I've
Good,
not
good.
stopped
is
watching
Red
it.
Notice that legendary movie where Ed Sheeran says, "I'm fucking Ed Sheeran"?
Yes, that's
What a legendary movie.
bitch.
Yeah,
I love
what a legendary moment in a legendary movie on Netflix right now.
I love that WWE had to promote the movie by giving Vince McMahon an egg.
What?
That was it. That was
What?
the whole
What are you
bit.
saying? What are you-
WWE had on a pay-per-view, Vince McMahon had one of the Fabergé eggs, and they kept promoting Red Notice and The Rock's 25th anniversary for his career. And then The Rock never showed up, and there was just a storyline about Vince McMahon's egg being stolen.
Wait, is the Rock the egg because he's bald?
You sound That's so fucking unhinged.
Yeah, it sounded really
What
unhinged,
you
right?
just said
But
was
like,
absolutely insane.
That's most stories involving Vince
Yeah, no,
McMahon, though.
WWE.
yeah, but if this
fucked
is
up.
on
What a fucking
screen,
psycho, dude.
Vince McMahon thinks sneezing is a sign of weakness.
For real. Are you, wait, this is
Yes,
real?
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's
I have
real.
heard. Yes, that is
For those
real.
who don't know, Vince McMahon is a fucking crackhead psycho.
For those who don't know,
He's a wrestling
He's the wrestling
owner.
CEO, right?
He owns the WWE.
He's the CEO of wrestling
He is.
and insanity.
And Egg, the CEO of Egg.
And one Fabergé egg made of gold.
and
wish-
the next
I
host
wish
of
I
the
was the
Please
owner
Stop
of Egg.
Talking podcast.
You just hear like his fucking theme song. No chance.
No, isn't that his son? Oh no, his son is Money
No,
Money.
Shane
it's not.
McMahon's theme is "Here Comes the Money."
Yeah.
This is awful because I know everybody else knows a lot about wrestling, and I know absolutely nothing.
Brendan, I'm very happy. I was thinking about it, and I was like, if Brendan's on with me when I'm on, how quickly is it going to devolve into
Immediately,
wrestling talk?
like
It's
And the answer is
immediately.
immediately.
I told David the second he asked me to be on like a week ago, I was like, I'm going to talk about wrestling and you can't stop me, especially if Ed's here.
All you need to know about wrestling is Rey Mysterio killed a man.
Rey Mysterio actually got his eye gouged out in a match. It wasn't a real eye, but they had a match called an eye for an eye match where you're supposed to remove the eye of your opponent. And it was like a fake, like plastic toy.
Remember when the woman gave birth to a giant hand?
Yeah, well, she gave birth to a normal sized hand, and the hand grew up 11 years later to become a 20-year-old man in a hand costume.
Yeah, sorry. And he was called the Hand.
Remember when Vince McMahon sacrificed a goat on stage to revive Chris Benoit's wife?
Oh my God, Ed. Fucking holy shit.
So I'm guessing that didn't actually happen.
No, Chris
No.
Benoit is the wrestler who murdered his wife and kid. Ed is making a Benoit joke. Yeah.
Remember when CM Punk played basketball with Paul Bearer's ashes?
See, that's funnier.
See, now what you do is you cut out the other one.
These jokes are so fucking niche, dude. Holy fuck.
Remember
Well, to
when
be
Triple
fair-
H dressed up like Kane and then had sex with a corpse in a fucking coffin? But that was actually a thing that happened in WWE and not an Ed joke. Remember when Triple H had a battle with Booker T, who is black, and the whole time was being racist as fuck, and then still beat Booker T?
Remember when Vince
when
McMahon
Booker
said
T
the N-word?
said a slur?
Remember when he fought God and won?
Oh,
my
yeah, that
God.
one's a fucking classic. Remember when
I don't know which
Shane
one- I
was
don't know
on
which one is-
the Please Stop Talking
he has a
podcast and
story?
told a really funny story?
That was great.
Oh, yeah.
He should do it again.
Yeah, I'll do that thing, encore. So the original story I pitched to Ed that got me brought on here is how I had to legally take defensive driving classes to keep my license.
What?
Yeah.
What is a defensive driving class?
Basically it's just like retaking driver's ed essentially.
Dude, that is not what I thought that was.
It's how you
thought-
get in the Twisted
I had to take
Metal,
a day
David.
Course.
Yeah,
I had to
dude,
take a
my head
day's
was
course.
like, my head was like, oh, dude, you're doing like fucking Speed Racer car foo.
No. This is like, hey, you've earned enough demerits on your driver's license that you have to take this course or you're losing your driver's license. Basically, it's saying you fucking suck at driving and you need to be retaught.
I'm glad you're telling this after you helped us drive and from fucking Chicago all the way to Brendan's wedding.
Well, I only drove the van out of
drove
Chicago.
downtown. Dude, you drove downtown Chicago, man.
Yeah. That's funny. I hated driving in the city, and that's when I drove the van the most. Anyways, this is a two-part story because a lot of the points I earned were just stupid little speeding tickets. Because when I was in high school, that's the time these stories pretty much are isolated to. I was really bad at keeping an eye on what the speed limit was. So I was always going a little over without realizing it. But the first ticket I got, it was in winter of my grade 11 year in high school. And at the time, I had a spare right before lunch period. So usually that meant I would fuck off for 2 hours to get high with friends.
Classic.
Just because it was like there's nothing to do in this town, especially middle of the day on a weekday. We usually just fuck off going somewhere. So yeah, this the important reason I bring up that it was winter is that where I lived, it got especially icy, and so a thing we did a lot in high school.
Drift. Please say drift.
It's drifting. Yeah,
baby,
you guessed
that's
it.
that shit.
Everybody would
does
go
that.
out drifting.
Everybody
we
fucking
would go out
does
drifting because it was like, fuck it, we're just gonna kill time by driving around town and drifting.
We're Canadian. It's winter. We got a car. Let's drift, baby.
Yeah. So me and a couple friends pile into my car one day, and we're just driving around town, drifting, and eventually we end up in this one small mall's parking lot, and we're just fucking doing like basically circles around this mall. And important detail is that this wasn't like high schoolers driving like Dodge Neon or like a Honda Civic or something. I was driving my grandparents' 1992 Buick Century. I was riding in a fucking
isn't that
boat.
like that one really fucking long ass car?
I can't remember if it was long, but it really felt very wide for what it is.
Jesus, I'm looking at it now.
Dude, I am imagining drifting in that. That
it was
sounds
actually
so
really fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun because the emergency brake wasn't a hand one. It was one that you kicked.
Dude, yes.
So I'd just be like rounding corners and like kicking in the e-brake and just drifting around.
Dude, that sounds fun as
So
hell.
we're doing this for like 20 minutes around this fucking little mall that there were definitely people around. Like this was pretty unsafe. But we're just like going around, just doing laps because like that's what we do for fun. And I actually almost hit a fucking telephone pole.
Oh my god, dude.
Because we really hit a bad patch of ice, and I was like, I stopped, and we were like, I want to say like 6 inches from hitting just like a fucking the cement base of a telephone pole. Or no, it wasn't a telephone pole. It was like a
light pole.
light fixture. Yeah. So it's almost that time where we got to start heading back to school. So it's like, okay, a couple more and then we'll, call it a day.
Oh boy.
So I hit this last drift and it felt really satisfying. Just something about it, like it hit just right. And I'm rounding around this corner. I'm just fucking initial D'ing around this corner.
Yes.
And as the other side of as I can see around the corner, I see a fucking police car sitting there waiting for me.
Caucasian.
Like they knew
So
exactly
sad.
where I was gonna be, and they're just sitting there. And
my god.
I come to a stop about like I want to say like 10 feet away. Like fortunately, I was able to stop without hitting them. But so they're just sitting there, and the like second I stop like momentum, lights come on. I'm caught dead to rights. They not only knew what I was doing, they literally saw me do in front of them. So I'm just fucking sitting there and I'm just like, I can't reasonably make this worse. Or can I?
Oh.
Yes, I want to know.
So I started doing
I'm
donuts.
sitting there. No, I'm sitting there. The car is in park. And we're just waiting. The officer, for some reason, is just letting us stew. And this car had a tape deck, but I had one of those tapes that were fake and it had the aux cord that you could plug an iPod in.
I know what you did.
I'm just sitting there waiting, and I see the police officer get out of their car, and they're walking over, and I look at my friends, and I look at my iPod that's in my hand, and I go, wouldn't it be funny if I played the Cops theme?
Oh no! That's not what I thought. I thought you were gonna play "Fuck the Police."
Fuck the police. Yeah, that's what I thought.
No.
Oh my god!
See, that's kind of funny. You're still an idiot.
I love the Cops.
Oh yeah, no,
Dude,
I'm fucking
Cops theme is
retarded.
way more funny.
That's what my friends immediately said. They looked at me and they're like, "Are you retarded?
Are you fucking crazy?"
And I went, "Yeah, okay, I shouldn't." But to this
But what
day,
if?
I still think, what if? That's still one
Dude,
of the.
that would
if I
be
ever think, if I could go
amazing.
back in time and see what the alternate history was, that's the moment I'd go to, because I'd love to see just the cop being like, turn that off.
If that were me, I would have looked up fucking Cops theme song, plugged in the aux, hit play, and it would have somehow still been the Nazi national anthem.
Oh no! Just all you got to do is go on. All you got to do is. Good thing I have this WAV of 15 minutes of pig squealing. This is great for this occasion.
Here's an hour farting loop.
Yeah.
No,
just
I
fucking-
play the fucking wake up.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up.
What a
Wake up.
classic.
So yeah, the cop saunters over. I roll the window down. He's like, "You know why you're getting this ticket?" I'm like,
Yeah, 'cause you're a
I think it was
bitch.
specifically called a stunting ticket.
Stunting.
Which is
That
basically
sounds
a form
cool,
of
though.
it's a classification under like reckless driving. So I think that was like 5 points on my license or some
Oh
shit
my
like
lord.
that. And so that was basically the end of that part of the
I like
story.
him fighting you like it's a Bulletstorm move.
Yeah.
So fast forward about a year. It's May now. I'm driving an entire other vehicle because the other one got wrecked in an unrelated incident.
Okay.
And it was just I hit a bad patch of ice in like actual street.
Never drive ever again.
Never
Yeah.
drive. So it's May long, and where I was, I lived
Wait,
in
who's
like,
May Long?
Central May long, the long weekend.
Oh,
In Canada, we
It's
have
a
I thought
Victoria
you were
Day.
talking about like a Virtua Fighter character called May Long.
Maylong? Oh my god, dude. No, Maylong is like is that only in Canada?
I
I've never
think
heard of this.
for Americans,
I
they
think
have
it might-
Memorial Day.
Uh
Yeah, but for us, it's Victoria
Rest
Day.
in
so it's
piss.
our long weekend.
Continue.
Yeah, rest in piss. So where I lived in northern Saskatchewan up until the end of high school. For any
God, Saskatchewan.
Canadians listening, I lived in Prince Albert, and that's only
Oh.
important to the story because it's a fucking shithole. But one plus it has is that you drive 20 minutes north, and you have just this wide selection of lakes to go to, which is perfect during the summer. So with May long, whenever we had this weekend, the trend for high schoolers was to go up and get drunk for the weekend. Just pick a lake that
Pick a lake,
someone
get
has a
fucked.
cabin at,
Yeah.
and just get.
That's
get
better
shot
than the
for
usual trend,
3
which is
days.
just to be really hot. Fuck. Continue.
So the thing is that this was so well known that the police started setting up police
Oh, what a
checks going
bunch of
into the popular
fucking-
lakes
Come on.
because they knew it was all high
Because they
schoolers
knew there
going
was
up
a
that were
notorious drifter
Oh,
on
wait,
the loose.
They had I was on a board.
notorious speed racer Foxcade.
So the counter response to this was people would figure out ways to sneak their booze in. A lot of people did the smart thing and just went up like 2 weeks ahead of time and just left booze there at like their friend's cabin or their parents' cabin, what have you. Me and my friends were not that smart. We were not able to do that. So we're like, okay, how do we sneak it in? How do we sneak our booze in past this police check that we have to stop at? We're like playing around with ideas like, oh, can we like take the spare wheel out of the trunk and put the booze where the emergency spare tire would be? And it's like, no, that's that's a bad idea. And so we're playing around with all these ideas, and we're gonna fill this backpack just full of booze, and we're gonna stop about like a kilometer away from the police check because it's going right into the lake we were going to, and it's surrounded by trees, and we're gonna have Darren just walk around the police check. We're going to literally go around the police check.
You-
and then
you were- dude, you were literally asking
me and
for
Jack
it,
will just
dude.
drive through.
You guys were
Yeah,
fucking
we were
asking
utterly
for
stupid.
it. Oh my
But we didn't get
God.
that far, so it doesn't even matter. Remember how I said I got a lot of speeding tickets because I didn't properly pay attention to the speed limits that were
Yeah.
posted? We're driving down the highway to the lake we were headed to. The posted speed limit was 110. I thought it was 120, so I was going 130.
Oh, dude, that's criminal.
Yeah.
That's criminal
Oh,
speed.
man.
So
20 above.
I'm just cruising, and for some reason my friend didn't like properly articulate to me that I was like going way too fast, because he just said something to the degree of, "Hey, you know this is highway speed limit, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." Because in my head I was like, "Okay, there's kind of like an unwritten rule that on the highway police will give you like a little bit of a leniency if you're going like over. It's not like, oh, you're like 1 over the speed limit, we're gonna nail you. It's like, yeah, you get like I think 10 kilometers or something like that.
It is 10.
Unless you're dealing with a dickhead who's like really strict about it, but
It's
most
the end of
won't
the
really get
and
you.
it's the fucking end of the month, and they're like,
exactly.
wow.
So I'm just fucking cruising down the highway in this little blue Cavalier, and
We're Nick so much
it's
about cars
me,
today.
my friend Jack, and my friend Darren, who's in the back seat with the backpack full of booze. And we're getting closer to the lake, and I distinctly remember one detail was there was this fucking RV that was going like 80 kilometers. And I was just like, oh, fucking move. And I just drive right around them, and just you do that thing where you like when you pass a slow person and you just kind of like look in to be like, what the fuck are they doing? So
I lived with
did
Avery,
that,
so yeah.
and it was a there was just this old elderly couple just going up to the lake to have like a nice time, and me being like a fucking stupid high schooler, like, oh, fucking move your ass. And
Yeah,
I
old
just
man.
drive right
Get
past
with the
them.
times. And you drift, fucking re-rend them.
Yeah, I drift
You
around.
re-rent them.
So I'm continuing to go down the road. They're like a fucking dot in my rearview mirror at this point. 5 minutes later, I noticed this car that's like right on my fucking ass. And I don't really think anything of it because I'm like, oh yeah, they're heading up to the lake too. Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Fucking lights come on. It's the cops.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
dude.
And I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes. So I pull over and police officer walks up, roll the window down. It's like, yeah, you were, do you know how fast you were going? I was like, oh yeah, like 125. And they're like, yeah, you know the speed limit's 110, right? I was like, oh.
I
And
just
look
had
at
an
my friend,
American
and I
moment.
look at my friend and I was like, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
kilometers, not
Kilometers.
Yeah.
I was American. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
wait a minute. Everybody in this call except for me is non-American. I was like, 120. I was like, Shane, holy shit!
Shane's
I'm
just
just
going
speeding
at
down
it,
this
dude.
road.
Yeah, like how could you tell
It's
those were
gonna
old
get in an
people? They would have been
accident,
just aghast.
They would have been fucking
Yeah.
goo.
They
So
would've been
I
fucking
look at my
cool.
friend and I was like, oh, that's what you meant. And the cops, oh, I noticed you were kind of swerving a little bit. You been drinking? I was like, no. I wasn't. It was like, okay, license and registration. I hand it to him. And then he kind of like, he leans in to kind of like look at my party, the people with me. Now he sees my friend Jack next to me, and then he looks in the back and sees my friend Darren, and this backpack that is clearly stuffed with something. Like you can visibly tell it's like packed. And he looks at it and he's like, what you got there? And my friend Darren looks at it, looks back at the cop. I don't know.
What a fucking moron.
Like he just kind of looks at it, I don't know. And then he goes, I have to see what's in that bag. So I get out. I lean my front seat forward because it was a 2-door car. My friend Darren passes the bag to the cop. He grabs the top, and then as soon as Darren lets go of his end, it immediately drags him down because the full weight of this bag finally kicks in.
Oh.
And he kind of gets dragged down for a second, and it goes, whole lot of nothing. Yeah.
Oh man.
And he brings it to the front of the hood, plops it down, and just starts taking out beer cans.
This is
And he
so
just looks
sad.
at me, and he looks at this fucking hood that's basically covered in beer cans, and looks at me, and he's like, "Yeah, so that's one speeding ticket and one what was it? It was like minor possession of alcohol or something like that. And I was like, okay. And he's like, okay, so while I'm writing this, you and your friends start pouring these out. So there's me and my two friends.
Did you start
on the road
them,
to the? So that's important detail. That's important detail. So there's me and my two friends on the side of the road leading to this lake that everyone's going to. As they're just passing by me, I just see multiple friends that I know drive past us as we're just pouring out all our alcohol on the side of the street. And one of the people that passed by me is the fucking old couple in the RV.
Oh
They
my
just slowly drove past me, and I was like, that must have been so vindicating for them personally. Just
Look at
I could
this.
think
Just
in
look at
their
this
in
fucking
their side,
moron.
this fucking stupid ass kid that like was speeding past them, and just be like, oh, that fucking irresponsible piece of shit got what he deserved. And so yeah, we're like pouring out alcohol, and I didn't do this, but while we were pouring out alcohol and the officer was like paying attention to like writing out the stuff, my friends started just shotgunning beers, or like,
No
well, it's already
way.
going to waste. And I was like, I would have joined them, but I was like, okay, well, I'm
You're
driving,
already- yeah,
so
you're-
it would be even more irresponsible if I did that. So, I think they got like 3 beers in without getting caught by the officer doing it. So, yeah, that was even more demerits on my license that eventually led to me having to take defensive driving lessons on how not to be a shitty driver. And a final little detail is when we actually got to the lake, I got to the police check and it was like, oh, do you have anything like they were gonna like search the car, and I just showed them the ticket and I was like, I already got caught. And they're like, oh, okay. And they just let me through. They're like, you already got caught. But that night we were wandering around the lake, kind of just like as you do, teenagers getting drunk at the lake, and I actually ran into that same officer.
Oh my god.
And he was so fucking smug. He's like, oh, how's your weekend?
Oh,
It's like, you
how
motherfucker.
rude.
What a piece of shit.
Glad you didn't run into that old
So yeah,
people.
that's basically the end of the story. Yeah, that would have been really funny.
Run to the old people on the beach and they run you over with their RV.
Yeah. That's what you get. Fucking whippersnapper. So yeah, that's the end of that
Jesus Christ,
saga.
David! I need a rip ass. Mute this. Oh God.
Holy shit. Whoa, that was so loud, dude. What the fuck?
Can you add reverb to that?
Dude, I'm gonna add fart with reverb. I'm gonna make it soloed right here so that people can use it for their own works.
Shane, I'm not gonna lie.
Damn.
The second
I'm gonna
time
download
that you saw the
edfart.wave.
second time. Oh my God!
You doing it? Oh my god, he did it again.
Oh, it just smells like shit, and I'm leaning in my chair, so I'm level with it.
Level with the shit.
It's in my face. It's like physical. It's blocking my view.
Dude.
But yeah, the one that I want to tell is definitely the other one. Don't read the topic out loud because it's going to be a spoiler.
I'm not.
I've been saving.
Blackface? What?
David, I deleted that one for a reason. Gosh.
Oh shit. And I'm
But yeah, this is one I've had in the bag for a while, and I think I've told one person, and thankfully that person isn't here. So you guys all get to hear it firsthand.
oh shit. World premiere.
Shut up.
Yeah, where's Jeff Keighley to intro this?
No, Jeff Keighley wouldn't intro this. This includes a lot of like sexual harassment.
No, he definitely
No, I'm joking. Of course it does. No, but it's funny sexual harassment, David.
Oh, okay. That's that
Oh,
makes
it's one of
a
those.
whole
It's
lot
one of those
difference.
quantum.
No, it's one of those Kojima funny
Oh,
sexual harassments. He didn't harass anybody. Just his games are weird. But regardless,
What the fuck? What is happening? What are you fucking
I'm trying to get to it. I'm doing a lot of preamble.
Oh,
You know how like a sitcom special will have like the one random cracker that shows up and says jokes for like 5 minutes and then the main act starts? Main act is starting now. You mean Seinfeld?
This is the Seinfeld opener.
I'm pretty sure Seinfeld only Seinfeld did that.
No,
and
other
then they
comedy.
stopped because apparently it was
I've been to
unfunny.
like tons of stand up.
Other series did it.
I'm not talking
Other
about
series
series.
did
I'm
it.
talking
It's
about
just they weren't
stand up
that popular.
specials.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were talking about.
No, I literally said stand-up specials. You guys listening? This is a podcast. All you do is shit. Okay. But yeah, so this story is set in the good old town of Brussels when I was hanging out with some friends, and what we've been doing lately. These guys' names are Dave and Victor. And what we've been doing lately is we go out in the town, we get some drinks in, we try to talk shit with new people that we meet, try to make new quote unquote friends, but we all know it's people we're going to see that night and then never again. We usually exchange numbers, but then nothing happens.
That's like every fucking party though.
So
yeah.
We go out to this bar area, we get really drunk, and then everybody else is kind of calling it early, except me and my two homies. And then Victor says, "Oh, I heard this urban legend through the grapevine that there's a party where women might be." So we all three of us go on this journey together to try to find this mythical party that's definitely going to have tons of babes.
You fucking lived through a Harold and Kumar skit, dude.
Oh, dude. It's something.
No, that's just straight guy. That's just straight guys going to parties.
And before we headed out, we stopped at a night shop and we picked up a bottle of orange juice and a bottle of gin. So as we were walking, every cup
gin and orange juice
tasted horrible. Every couple minutes, we stopped to take shots. And then at one
was vodka not an option?
No, I fucking hate vodka.
Oh, okay.
It's like petrol. But anyway, we come to this I guess it's not a fork in the road, but it's basically like where four roads kind of intersect, but they're all it's like European roads, so you can just walk through them.
Yeah.
And in the middle, it was like a tiny park with a couple benches and a place for dogs to shit in. And we run into a group of dudes, two separate groups of dudes, just hanging. And they had no relation to one another. It was just two groups of dudes. And for some reason,
just hanging?
Me, Dave, and Victor instinctively split up. And I hung out with one group of dudes introducing us. And both of them hung out with the other group of dudes. It's like we telepathically went 3, 2, 1 break, and we each covered different groups of dudes.
That's that bro shit, though.
And I was talking.
That's what bros are all about.
And I was talking to these guys, and I was doing the classic fucking, oh, where are you guys from? What are you studying? / what do you do? I'm from Portugal. My friend's from England, and the other guy's German. Blah blah blah. We're looking for babes. And that was pretty much my whole conversation. And from what I remember, the guys that I was speaking to, I think they were all Palestinian, and they all spoke really good English. And we just they all had American accents. So we were just talking a bunch of shit. And then I was like, "Hey, do you guys want to do shots? Because we have really shit shots." And they were like, "Dude, hell yeah." And then we just started doing shots. We were all shit-faced. And then after 30 minutes, we go, "Hey, we're kind of freezing our asses off and we're looking for women, so we're going to dip." Then I join up with Dave and Victor again. The group of homies they were hanging out with, they go in the complete opposite direction. And then we're back on our journey, right? And then as we keep going, we keep taking shots of gin and orange juice. At some point, we kill the bottle. And then we get to the street where the party is supposed to be. And the guy that we were messaging that told us the party was definitely happening, he just hasn't replied in 2 hours. Now that we're on the street and freezing our asses off. Because Belgium at night, doesn't matter what season it is, you're going to freeze your ass off. And we keep texting this guy to no response, to the point where Dave just starts ringing every door. And not even the kid thing where you ring the door and then run. He just rings the door and waits for people. And then we give it the old 2-minute wait. Nobody shows up. We try the next house. We keep going and going. We literally do the entire street. And only one person opened the door. And it was an old woman.
Oh,
so we give the guy that we were texting another 10 minutes. And then we go, okay, fuck it. We're not going to be able to get to this party. We're probably not even in the right street. I say we give up and just head back to Dave's because he lives in a fucking mansion with 10 flatmates and they always have some type of party going on. Doesn't matter what day it is. So me and Vic were all right, sounds good. On our way back to Dave's, Vic goes, hey, you know what? I'm fucking tired. All of this walking killed my legs, so I'm just going to head home. So it's just me and Dave heading back to his. We get to his place. There actually was a party going on at his because like some friends of his roommates were there. We get way more drunk and I crash at his. And I usually never crash. I usually like try to make it home because I fucking hate waking up and just feeling terrible. I don't have my toothbrush. I don't have my fucking colostomy bag. It's just, there's a lot of admin.
Fuck you.
So I wake up and my morning wasn't too eventful, right? I wake up and I think I wake up in one of his like roommates' rooms because she was like in Berlin or something. It doesn't matter. And I was just so fucking groggy. For a second, I thought I got kidnapped. Like I got really, really drunk. And then it took me a while to fucking get up and go downstairs and get some water and wait for Dave to wake up. And then I'm chilling there. I'm like making some eggs. And then he comes downstairs and he is pale. This man is redheaded. So for me to see that he's like noticeably pale means that something happened. So I go, dude, what happened? And he goes, bro, I just had the scariest morning I've ever had. And I went, what? What happened? Like, you know where your place? Like he felt like he had an out of body experience. And then he tells me, okay, so I didn't crash in my room. I crashed in somebody else's room. And my experience was I wake up and I go to check my phone. And you know the guys that we met at that fucking crossroads? I'm in a group chat with them. And I go, what? Did they add you? And he goes, no, they didn't. We'd never shared Facebook. And here's the thing, Ed. Not only am I somehow in this group chat, I've apparently been sending messages to this group chat for weeks.
What?
And I go, what? Show me the group chat messages. And he goes, look,
That's
dude,
a fucking horror
he
movie,
shows
dude.
me the group chat messages. Not only has he been texting this group chat for ages, remember, those guys weren't English. They weren't even Belgian. They were Swedish. Dave has been texting these Swedish people in fluent Swedish for weeks.
Does Dave know how to fucking speak Swedish?
He is a British man. He only speaks one language. So I go, dude, what the fuck is going on?
What?
And he goes, this is the scary part. Because I figured it out. What happened when me and Victor were hanging out with those Swedish dudes was one of the guys, his phone was dead. And he asked me for my phone to log into his Facebook account so he could message his friends and ask him where they were. But because I was so out of it when I woke up this morning, I thought I quantum leaped into a Swedish man's body.
That's insane, dude.
And he told me that the first thing he did when he saw his phone was yell and then run to the nearest mirror.
To check if it was still him.
Just look at it. I'm Swedish.
Dude, that's fucking scary.
That would be
what
terrifying.
What if you woke up and you were European?
My worst nightmare.
Well, David, your bed would be wet.
You wake up and it's like that moment in BioShock Infinite where Booker looks at his hand and it's just a horrible like
You're
tattoo.
I thought
Mark.
since you're Ed, I thought for a second you were about to bring up the theater and the throwing the rock. So
Yeah,
The Rock's-
Ed
No,
would
it's a
definitely throw the
baseball at a
baseball.
carnival.
okay. It is
my
a baseball at a carnival, and I know you know that now. I'm writing that information down in my
We
Ed
already
Dream Journal.
knew he knew that. He knows that fucking scene from. You ever?
Yeah, but
One
I
time-
didn't know
dude,
that
one
he
time
knew
he
that I
forced-
knew that.
One time, Ed forced all of us to watch him play through the beginning section of fucking BioShock Infinite, and he was like verbatim saying every single line in the game. But he
Kept saying, this is so based. And I was like, based on what, Ed?
I'm
But,
so
but the
I
weird
was
thing
like,
is,
stop.
the
It's
weird
so-
thing is when he was showing us, he would just randomly insert N-words.
Yeah, and that game doesn't have any.
He's like, oh, this isn't nuanced enough. Yeah.
Ed, you did that. Why are you surprised?
No, I'm saying that game doesn't have any N-words. I was trying to make it historically accurate.
To quote Matthew Matosis.
Well, that's getting censored.
Now we're just saying.
Well, that's out of the fucking episode forever.
Why would that be out of the episode? He said it.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's because usually like you'll censor stuff when like for example, if I say that Boogie's really fat and ugly, or when I say that.
Well, the other one is like.
One of those isn't true.
Can I be on a podcast where we just start beef with a YouTuber?
One of those is a felony.
YouTube slander.
You know, right before we were recording, I was hanging out with one of my IRL friends, and he was telling me like, "Why don't you guys stream the podcast?" And I told him, "Because we'd get sued."
Absolutely not.
Because Ed would get us sued.
Yeah.
I just gotta remind David to censor that stuff. So Fat Albert, Fat Albert, Fat Albert, Fat Albert, Black Albert, Black Albert, Black Albert, Black Albert.
I'm not gonna forget. Don't worry.
Can a Twitch channel get sued for libel? Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I would assume so. I think sued. Shane told his lake story, and I think I've already told my drinking at the lake getting pulled over by cop story on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the guy like yelled at the cop, "I'm gonna fucking fight you. I'm gonna rip your skin off."
Dude, what if he did that? Wouldn't that be fucked up?
Be pretty fucked up.
What if he won then he became the cop? That's how you become a cop.
Shelby did something recently, and then she looked at me and said, "Tell this story on the fucking podcast." And I was like, "Okay, why?" It's not a very good story, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. Shelby and I were out. We had just dropped my sister off. We were watching her, and it was late at night, and Shelby was like having a woman moment. So she really wanted ice cream. So we went to Dairy Queen, and we were waiting in line forever. They took our order. We get up to the window, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, our internet's broke, so we only take cash. We don't have cash," so we leave. And Shelby's sitting there in the car holding the steering wheel going, "Those goddamn motherfucker." Like she is like almost ready to bash her head into the steering wheel, like fucking death grips, like get like
to the
blood
rogue warrior
is full.
In the car. Eat shit, cocksucker.
Yeah, fucker. So we get home, and Shelby has ice cream at home, so she grabs it. And I go into the kitchen, and she looks at me, and she says, "Hammer now!" And I'm fucking terrified because my wife has never looked at me and said, "Hammer now." So I go find her a hammer, and she gets her ice cream out, and she pulls little Heath bars out of the cabinet, these mini little Heath bars, and she takes the hammer and she starts smashing them and fucking yelling just, "Hammer cooking, hammer cooking, hammer cooking," and she's fucking screaming it unhinged. What is this fucking the most unhinged I've seen my wife.
Energy.
Just then she looks at me and she says, "Tell the story on the fucking podcast."
What the fuck? What the fuck? Why?
Because she listens to the podcast.
No, but why?
Hi, Shelby.
Hi, why?
Hi, Shelby. What you cook?
She's not here.
But why?
She put the Heath bars, the crumbled up Heath bars, in a bowl of ice cream. That's it.
Oh, okay. I thought she just smashed Heath bars and was like, "There,
me too.
Fixed. There, I cooked."
Oh, I love my wife.
I really like the idea
Jesus
of you
Christ.
being married to like what are they called in Resident Evil? The guys that chase you around for like the entire game. Yeah, you're married to a Mr. X. Like you're in danger when you start hearing in the distance, "Hammer cooking, hammer cooking, hammer cooking."
Brennan's walking down the hall, and then Shelby just comes bursting through.
She just yells, "Hammer!"
Through a fucking wall.
Now!
Hammer! Hammer!
The demand of the "hammer now" thing is like kind of fucking nuts. I can't even imagine Shelby yelling "hammer now."
Shelby is so... she says she's boring, but she's so like evil and chaotic. She's like, "I'm just a boring human being." Mean. I love my wife. She's fucking evil. Listen, our first week together, we were sleeping in the same bed, and she Dutch ovened me, brought me up, and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna marry you," and then just
Was that her mark?
That was 8 years later.
Dutch oven you, turned around, looked at you, said, put that on the podcast.
Listen, the first time I had sex was in the basement of my ex's house with Shelby. She's fucking evil.
My wife be like, nerf this.
Oh, no. I don't think about
My
that.
wife do be farting.
I'm okay. We're done.
Brendan weren't
I'm
lying.
vetoing-
His wife be farting.
I'm vetoing the farts, dude. I can't.
Dealing psychic damage.
I'm vetoing farts. You gotta
David-
stop.
Avery's not here. The
saying
vetoes
that-
don't count.
What
We
the
don't have a
fuck?
judge. I don't give a shit.
What the fuck do you mean the veto system doesn't work when Avery's not there?
system. I don't care. Do I look like somebody who cares? I don't care.
David's a little baby, and the moment we start getting a little gassy, he's like, "Oh, guys, stop!"
No, this is hypocritical because I know for a fact yesterday on Spotify, David was listening to hour-long loops of farting.
He was. He kept messaging me and said, "Ed,
you-
click
I was
listen
in-
along.
I was
Ed,
in-
click
I was
listen
in
AC
along."
with you.
Yeah, we were watching football, and I thought it could be gassier.
Yeah, he was literally complaining. He's like, "Oh, these farts don't sound as good as they. Yeah, these aren't good farts." It's like, yeah, David.
That's actually.
Have I
can't
actually-
believe you actually quoted me, dude. I legit said that about the fart compilation I was listening to. I was like, dude, these farts suck.
Actually meeting my wife. I don't think I've told the Zombie Master story before, and that's one that I can kind of end up
Oh,
on.
dude, you want to know something really lame? This is gonna take like a second. Zombie Master was what people called me in fucking elementary school because my Yu-Gi-Oh deck was only zombie cards.
Yo,
in elementary and middle school,
Yeah,
I got
that was lame as fuck.
my homework passes taken away because I wrote a list of people that I wanted to kill.
Class
Legend. Fucking epic legend. That's when 8th grade was when I paid Juvenile and Angel in Yu-Gi-Oh cards to be my bodyguards.
That's sick.
I told that story.
You already told that story, bro.
Yeah, I told that story. Yeah. So
you're an old man with Alzheimer's.
I am.
And you
I
keep
have
saying the
dementia.
same
Sorry.
stories.
Back in college, we used to play Humans versus Zombies, or we started a Humans versus Zombies game. And
What is
I don't
Humans
think I've told
versus
this one.
Zombies?
Yeah, Humans versus Zombies is like Nerf tag, but it's all campus. So there were about 80 to 90,
Oh, fuck.
I think honestly like 100 students participating. So essentially there was
fuck,
one
that's
zombie
cool.
picked as the initial zombie, and you got a green headband if you're a zombie, and you use the headband as an armband if you're a human. And it would take place over 3 days. The first day, I helped organize all of it because I was part of the group. It was like the group was called like the Fun Arts Committee for the university, or like FACU,
Fun.
because the head person
FACU.
wanted it to be like fuck you.
Very smart.
So I was in the group and I helped organize all this. But I was poor. I was a poor college kid and an even poorer kid. So the only Nerf gun I had was a small, like $1. You have to pump it and shoot the Nerf dart. And the first zombie we picked was somebody who was very, very athletic. Well, I went to classes that morning, and I was walking from the bottom dorms up the hill up to the top dorms, and in the parking lot was the first zombie, and he spots me, and I'm like, am I going to be the second fucking person turned at this event? I'm going to be so mad. So I start running, but it's icy, and I slip, and he tags me, and I am pissed beyond belief. I am incredibly mad. This game, by the way, you couldn't actually play it in the university building. You couldn't play it on the on direct campus, so you couldn't do it during classes. It was only in the dorms and outside of the main building where all the classes were held.
Gotcha.
So I was pissed, and I started formulating a plan. I decided to gather with the first zombie, and me and him, I would have him and me tag people as we got out of our classes, and we started converting more and more people. And the plan was that night that we were going to end the game on day one because I was pissed off. I didn't tell him that's why, but I was really, really, really angry that I got tagged on day one and had to be a zombie for the next 3 days. So I think we got about 10 people for the first day, for the first class day up till 3 p.m. But then we all started stalking the parking lots, And then we went into the nicer dorm rooms. And the nicer dorm rooms, everywhere is fair game except for the actual dorm rooms.
Yeah.
And I would start walking around. I sectioned up squads of zombies to patrol, and they were like all into it. They were like, oh, fuck yeah. And I sectioned off patrol times for them to wander the hallways. So they would go back and forth here, back and forth there, back and forth there. And we turned more and more and more and more people. I think near the end of the night, we had turned about half of the players into zombies on the first night. So my wife and her roommates at the time in her dorm were trying to go and get food, but they were playing, and they were really scared because I would sit outside their door and bang and go, Jesus Christ. Fucking terrified. By the actual like full end of the night, it's like 2 a.m. I think we've gotten 75% of the people turned into zombies, my wife included, and we had to restart the game the next day. And then I did it again.
All for naught. You had to fucking keep going.
Like if you're a zombie and you got shot, you were out for I think an hour. But the only people who ended up surviving were a bunch of nerds, like sweaty nerds, like 8 sweaty Smash players who just hid in their room the whole day and didn't even go to classes for the game.
Dude,
that's so cringe.
Yeah.
Glued to the fucking CRT.
That's all they do. They
Glued
don't
to the
shower,
fucking
they don't
screen.
go to classes. They just get like escorted to a bathroom by an adult.
Those fucking guys talked me into playing League of Legends once, and I'm never doing it again.
Man.
And also, they tried to get me to play Guild Wars 2.
Hey, I heard that game's pretty good.
Fine. I like Guild Wars
funny.
2.
It's funny too because these like 7 to 8 sweaty nerds, they were super nice, but they had a huge crush on my wife, who was almost my girlfriend at the time, and she didn't realize that. She's like, "Why are they Why don't they talk to you now that we're dating?" And I had to explain to her that all these 8 sweaty Smash nerds had a crush on her because she was girl. Woman.
Play Guild Wars? I made you in Guild Wars.
Speaking of women playing Guild Wars, let's go to Patreon questions.
I haven't thought about Guild
Any woman
Wars in
playing-
like years.
Dude, same. Fucking same. The guest chooses the questions that they want to
I get to choose questions?
Yeah, you get to choose questions.
Okay.
Just say their name before.
Retoran?
Yeah.
You get to choose to remove anything, concept, individual item, material, etc. from the world to fuck with whoever upsets you the most. Who upsets you the most, and what would you remove?
Wait. So
okay,
Kingdom Hearts,
you
David.
remove like an object
Fuck
from
you.
the world just to like troll someone? Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Like concept?
Concept, item, or material.
Okay.
So basically, like anything. What do you remove from the world to fuck with this one person the most?
Me to fuck with my friends.
It has
I
to
have
be
one that's kind of fucked up, but it makes me laugh. Ted Cruz, his shins.
What the fuck?
Oh, so he's just walking around like Bobby Hill's grandpa.
Yeah, so just imagine Ted Cruz like normal, except he's fucking Cotton Hill.
What the fuck?
He would be.
Why?
Ted Cruz would be way more tolerable. He just looked like Cotton Hill.
That's such a weird specific
I don't know
thing.
why. I was
How
thinking
did
about
you
it earlier. I
imagine
was
that
looking at our
immediately?
chat. I was looking at the questions chat. And I was just like, who does piss me off the most? And I fucking hate Ted Cruz. He fucking pisses me off every time I see him. And I was like, what would be like a funny thing to fuck with him?
Ben Shapiro, his hat.
That's great because only he would know that.
Bro, where's my fucking hat? I need my hat for the pictures. David, it's you and only you.
I think, okay, it's weird because there's only one person I genuinely fucking hate, and it's Patton Oswalt.
Yes! I also hate him.
And I don't know
his dead wife. Continue.
Oh my Ed!
remove his second
Brenden
wife.
had lag right there.
Oh my god.
David,
My brain was like spinning, and I just had to stop and be like, Ed, first Chris Benoit, now Patton Oswalt's dead wife?
What?
Yeah, and he didn't even kill
You're
her.
having a wife time.
Now you're mixing the
How do I ruin Patton Oswalt?
Take his second wife.
Star Wars.
Remove her
Star Wars.
Oh my god.
Ed. Oh my god.
It's good to be back.
Oh my god. Can I add something to Patton Oswalt's life instead? Can I just add Ed? I'm just gonna add Ed,
but add Ed like Quado.
Imagine how funny it would be. He pulls up. No, he pulls up to like a.
You know what? I'm not going to elaborate on this. Next
Ed,
question.
no, you add Ed, but it's like Cheap Trick from part 4, where he's just on his like
I'm
back,
just whispering
his
weird
back.
shit into his ear. You know, Rey Mysterio killed a guy.
Jesus Christ! Brendan, did you answer?
Yeah,
I said David. I'd remove Kingdom Hearts.
Oh fuck! Let's find
When
another
you
question.
walk away. There was one. All of your dads must fight each other in a WWE cage match for the title of biggest dad. Whose dad wins? Mine.
Is too fucking
You didn't say the
wasted.
name, by the way.
Oh, by the Big Gay. Thank you, the Big Gay, for your daddy question. Ooh.
My dad would be way too drunk to even pull anything.
My dad's not going to feel anything. He's going to be fucking pumped up on methamphetamines.
Let's go.
Yeah,
He's
I don't
gonna
think
win.
my dad's winning.
My
against, Brandon's.
dad would not only lose, you would also make up an excuse to not go.
Leave a note.
Who is he? Cameron?
No, he's my dad.
No,
Yeah, Ed.
I think he's just saying Cameron's his
dad?
daddy.
In Borat voice.
My dad.
my dad.
Let me see.
You guys said at the same time, kids.
Oh, haha. Coffee Crest asks, if you had to choose a guest from the podcast to protect you from the rest of the guests, who would you pick and why?
All right,
The ones
everybody
you don't
at the
pick
same time.
try and kill you. The one you
Boo.
pick will do everything in their power to protect you.
Yeah, everybody.
Boo.
3, 2, 1, boo. Next
Boo.
question.
Mandy.
What? No.
What?
Mandy, Trap Master.
Mandy has a shotgun.
Mandy has a shotgun.
Have you
Boo
seen?
does
Mandy
not
has
have
a
That
shotgun.
shit bounces off.
Oh,
I wasn't
yeah,
even-
okay. Boo is like 4 inches taller than me.
I
I'm
wasn't
not
even-
like
He's
I'm not
also
what is
7
Boo gonna
meters
do?
wider.
Yeah, he's also fucking white as hell. What do you mean?
What is Boo gonna do? Play Monster Hunter Rise to fight them?
He's going to walk slowly towards you.
Listen,
while
height and girth
crouching.
don't make for a good fighter. I want somebody who's scrappy. I'm picking
Yeah,
Cameron now.
Oh no, I'm sticking with
I mean,
Cameron would just abandon you. He'd just be like, "Oh, sorry, I'm tired from work.
I'm not giving
showing up."
Boo the
Mikey,
satisfaction.
oi.
All you have to do is take him out at the knees. I'm a tall guy. I know how it works. Cameron is going to be able to fucking fully fight. I expect him to pull out some Avatar shit.
No, Cameron would be the type of guy.
I'm at the petrol station, can't come
No,
right now.
Cameron would show up, but like Cameron would be like a Macaulay Culkin. He'd have just a bunch of weirdly elaborate traps set up. Yeah.
No, that
Listen,
no,
I'm
that's
not
why I
asking
picked
them to
Mandy.
protect me. I
That's
just
why
need them to
picked
buy
Mandy.
time.
For what?
You know.
No.
You know. You understand.
No, I don't, dude.
I'm making my great escape. Hammy Whammy asks, did any of you have a moment where you tried doing something dramatic, but it ended up being cringy and humiliating? My entire online life is my answer.
Something dramatic, but it ended up being humiliating.
I don't think
You ever give a monologue at somebody?
no.
No.
The fuck am I? I'm not a Disney
I feel like
movie.
there is, but I'm not going to talk about them.
Yeah, no, the only thing I can think of is that time I did blackface.
Wait, that's how I end the episode. Holy crap, Lois, it's the last episode of the year! Thanks so much for listening. A huge thank you to all our top patrons such as Air 109, Alan Diver, Alex Steer, Ben Krismanic, Bike, Bongo Crust, Boopoo Lou, Brobly, Daxter092, Desric Gothroy, Dreams of Ice, Ducky Madness, Ethan the Cryptid, Eric Scott Gillies, Fang Jade, Generic Phoenix, Harry Norris, Inverted Van Man, Jeffrey Jangles, Kobe, Leo the Geotech, Lone Star Doge, Major Beast Jingles the 6065th +1, Manuel Martinez, Mellow Wolf, Maya, Notoriety, Schizolingvo, Seawolf812, Shintanu Batia, Snake Asylum, Teague, The Snaxolotl, Travis Vapes, Trevor Wood, William Oliver, Winchester Curse, and Zora Curel. It's pretty crazy that we're still airing considering the things we say, but we are. So we'll see you next year.